In the history of sports endorsements, I mean, few breakups have been as sudden, as dramatic, and as costly as this one. The split between Steph Curry and Under Armour. Just 2 years after signing a quote-unquote lifetime contract, the whole thing just shattered. So the question really is, did the greatest shooter of all time lose out on a massive payday? Or was this always, inevitable?
Yeah, the documents we looked at really dig into that split in November 2025. They cover the corporate reasons and then start to guess at his future.
And we're diving straight in because, frankly, based on what we've seen, we know exactly why Steph Curry left Under Armour.
I think the biggest opportunity here isn't just about reporting what happened, but really maximizing the dramatic contrast to the whole situation.
I see that, yeah. It's the gap between the promise, this lifetime deal, and the brutal reality of the separation. So to get this piece to the next level, from just news into real business analysis, it has to put the failure of that 2023 deal front and center. That's the conflict.
Absolutely. Right now, the material kind of treats the termination like it's just a standard corporate event.
Right.
But that completely buries the shockwave, the financial and contractual shockwave that happens so fast. You have to emphasize the gravity of ending a deal that gave him, 8.8 million shares?
Valued at $75 million at the time.
And made him president of Curry Brand.
Exactly. Only for it to all fall apart 2 years later. This wasn't a mutual parting. This was a corporate excision. But hold on, athletes and brands separate all the time, don't they? Isn't this just the cost of doing business when a company is struggling?
Not like this. Not when the ink is barely dry on a lifetime deal with a $75 million.
You wore Nike's pregame for that same
I'm free agent. I'm out here in new beginnings. I was, blessed to have an unbelievable experience to take a chance on something that meant a lot to me.
The real scale of Under Armour's financial distress.
So, okay, step one has to be highlighting those specific financial stakes. That lifetime deal worth over $200 million with the $75 million stock grant.
You wore Nike's pregame for that same
I'm free agent. I'm out here in new beginnings. I was, blessed to have an unbelievable experience to take a chance on something that meant a lot to me over the last 13 years, and extremely proud of.
They decided to trim the fat, and Curry Brand had become an expensive and unprofitable distraction.
An expensive distraction. It's a huge shift in how you frame the story. It forces the reader to really grapple with the size of the corporate failure, not just the celebrity moving on.
Yeah, you're right.
And you have to turn that into a question for the audience to pull them in. Something like, was this lifetime deal always built on shaky foundations? Or did the stock drop just make that $75 million price tag instantly impossible to carry?
That leads us perfectly into the second major point, which is the why behind the money. The profound cultural failure. So the documents, they do a good job identifying Under Armour's bad marketing and, let's say, questionable aesthetics as a weakness. But the analysis needs to synthesize all that into one big idea. This was a historic, existential missed opportunity.
It was. Right now, the critique of UA is a bit scattered. It has all these great quotes, botched having Steph, uninspiring designs, failing to capitalize.
You wore Nike's pregame for that same
I'm free agent. I'm out here in new beginnings. I was, blessed to have an unbelievable experience to take a chance on something that meant a lot to me over the last 13 years. And
failure. What is it? What represents that strategic blindness most clearly?
It has to be the 2016 Steph Curry Too Low. It just has to be. The single most mocked sneaker in internet history. That's your metaphor.
Oh, I remember those. The internet had an absolute field day.
A field day. And you have to contrast that aesthetic disaster with the fact that his shoes were actually great for performance. The Curry 4, the Flow 8, they were solid shoes.
Right. So the weakness wasn't the function of the product. It was the complete failure to create a cultural artifact, a status symbol.
That is the strategic gap. You should quote that line from the analysis that says UA thought it was making athletic equipment when it should have been making art.
That's a great line.
And then you back that up with all the other frustrations. The fact that fans couldn't buy the simple black Curry logo cap he wore, the delayed championship gear, and then the final nail in the coffin.
The Kobe's.
The Kobe's. The second he's a free agent, he's in warm-ups wearing Nike Kobe 6 Mambasita sneakers. The optics of that are just powerful.
That instant switch says everything, doesn't it? It's like a silent tribute to the kind of cultural product his own partner just couldn't create. We should definitely linger on that.
It speaks volumes, and it forces you to ask the big question. If a generational, universally beloved icon like Steph Curry can't lift a brand like Under Armour, does that mean the sneaker game is now a closed system, totally dominated by Nike and Jordan brand?
And that question, that monumental failure, it perfectly sets the stage for the next chapter. So the material has this top 5 sneaker brands Curry could join list. It's informative, but it lacks strategic weight. It would be so much stronger if these suitors were organized into like actual categories based on what Curry wants long-term.
Exactly. It's just a list right now. Reebok, Jordan, Nike, Anta, Leaning. It doesn't weigh them against his actual goals. We know he wants independence, he wants to expand into golf, he wants to build a legacy. We need a real decision framework.
Okay, so let's build one. Let's categorize them. 3 strategic paths. What's path number 1? The one focused purely on the court.
That's path 1, the performance and cultural standard. And that means a return to Nike.
Right.
You frame this as him prioritizing wearing the gold standard, the Kobe line, for his last few seasons. So this path would mean he probably sacrifices a huge new signature brand of his own. For the comfort and cultural cachet of just playing in Kobe's.
Precisely.
And the documents already say Nike is interested in a meeting, so it's a real possibility.
Okay, so what about the opposite of that? The high-risk, high-reward path. Full control, global market.
That's path 2, the independent legacy builder. We're talking Lining or Anta here. This is the power play. It's him mirroring what Dwayne Wade did with Way of Wade or what Kyrie did when he went to Anta, chief creative officer.
And this is all about the Asian market, which the material says he's already wildly popular in.
It's a massive expansion opportunity with full control.
But focusing on Asia gives him control, yeah. But does he really want the operational headache of building a brand from scratch again, especially right after the Under Armour mess?
That's the risk-reward, right? That's what the analysis has to explore. With an Asian partner, he gets way more creative control and financial independence than UA ever gave him, but yes, he takes on the operational burden. It's a move for legacy, not just cash.
Okay, and the last one. Jordan brand. That one feels, I don't know, a little small for a star of his size.
It does, so we frame it as path 3, the sub-brand torchbearer. Your notes say it feels beneath a player of Curry's magnitude to just carry the Air Jordan line.
Yeah. But you can strengthen that section by analyzing if taking on that mantle, that heritage, is worth it for the cultural cachet and the lifestyle focus. This path is all about post-career marketability. It's a legacy play that's separate from needing a new signature performance shoe.
That works. That turns a simple list into a really thoughtful strategic map. And then we can end that section with a question for the audience.
What's the question?
Something like, given that Curry brand is now independent, do you think he'll seek a major retail partner? Or will he aim for full control and manufacturing independence? That's excellent. That brings it all together. I mean, you have a tremendously strong foundation in these documents. It just needs that final layer of analytical polish and dramatic framing.
So to summarize the actionable critique here, we've said the material needs to dramatically heighten the shock value of that broken lifetime contract. Then use UA's aesthetic failures, specifically the chef shoe, as the central metaphor for their strategic error.
Right, the cultural blindness.
And finally, reframe that list of future partners based on his long-term goals: control, legacy, and market expansion.
That's it. Dramatize the $75 million failure, use the chef's shoe as your central metaphor, and organize his future into those 3 strategic paths: performance, legacy, and control, or torchbearer. Do that, and this piece becomes essential reading.
If you found this critique valuable, please remember to like and subscribe. And answer the question in the comments. Which brand do you predict Stephen Curry will sign with next? We're really looking forward to seeing your
If you wore Nike's pregame
Until next
event
time,
for
keep
the same
challenging
spot.
yourself. It's great work.
I'm a free agent. I'm out here. There's new beginnings. I was, blessed to have an unbelievable experience, to take a chance on something that meant a lot to me over the last 13 years, and extremely proud of what myself, my team, everybody who was able to touch that business for that long. We all should be proud of what we were able to accomplish, and taking a basketball brand or a brand and category that wasn't really a thing before to where we did. But I'm excited about the future.
Why did that partnership end now? Why did that partnership with Under Armour end now?
Just in the best interest of both parties. The sneaker industry is difficult, and like I said, things change over time, and to the point of you give your best effort to, create something sustainable, and a little disappointing knowing how it turned out based on where Curry brand has been the last 5 years, and the announcement we had 2 years ago. But I think it's the right thing for everybody, and for me to be able to take the opportunity with Curry brand and what we've done in the community, what we've done from standing for something, changing the game for good is our tagline, and hopefully having something to show for it down the road. I'm excited about that.
Steph, why did you choose to wear the Mamba sneakers pregame?
I think it's, well, one, I know it's just weird seeing me in anything else other than my own shoes, but just the idea of what he meant. I've talked about Kobe a lot, and that specific pair, I think it speaks for itself what it means. And other than that, it's just something that wanted to take advantage of that moment and pay tribute. And I think it gave me some good energy tonight.
Will you be sticking with those shoes or testing out different companies pregame? Like, how will that work?
I mean, the good thing about this situation is I love my own shoes and I'm out there hooping. Like, that's why I put those back on, and why I've designed, the kicks I have for as long as I have. But yeah, I'm gonna have some fun with this, and like you said, or like the question is in terms of